Hello and welcome. Today we have with us Kristian Kvarsvik, who is the managing director at Rendra IAS, part of GDM Technology Group, and he is going to present us a little bit StreamBIM. Hi, Kristian.
Hi, morning.
Morning. Can you please start sharing your screen? And yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll give you an introduction to StreamBIM. As the name indicates, the technology is about streaming building information models. So it means basically that you don't need to store any files or save anything on your desktop. You just stream whatever is closer to you, so you see what's relevant in depending on your position. So you will see that when I move around, it starts popping up new objects, more details as we're closing up. So that's the core of our technology, and that's the streaming part of it. There's the main view is, of course, the 3D view, where you just drag the model around your viewpoint. Viewpoint is indicated also in this 2D map in the lower right corner. And you can also, by double clicking or double tapping on handheld devices, you will go to full 2D, where you can zoom in, zoom out, and move around. So a lot of the navigation is done just dragging around in a 2D. So if we move into this bedroom here, double tap, you will see that you are put in that position as well. StreamBIM is a software that was originally made or designed for handheld devices. So you will see that a lot of the menus and the options that you have are on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So it's easy to operate using your thumbs on a tablet or a phone. So let's move quickly into this. We organize models into different layers. So this project here, this is the Norwegian acronym for architect, ARC. And if you start switching on and off the layers, you will see different disciplines that occur here. So if you switch off the facade, etc. Those layers can also, of course, be highlighted. Sorry. So I'll switch all layers on. And then if you do, say, electrical and highlight, you will see that all the electrical items and objects are highlighted while the rest is transparent. Same sprinkler, you will see the sprinkler system highlighted. The idea behind this is that as a contractor or a subcontractor, you will usually be responsible for one layer or could be responsible for one layer. So an easy access where you can see all the objects that are covered by your contract highlighted, basically. So that's the general grouping and organizing of IFC files and models. Behind a layer, there could be one or more files. So if you name them the same in this view here, they are grouped together. So this RIB, which is structural engineer, if you name them the same, they're grouped into one layer and you can switch them on and off. You see the rebar layer here is multiple files. So in this project, it's approximately 10 gigabytes of IFC file uploaded and grouped into layers where you can switch on and off. So it's a simple merge, I would say, of files into different layers. And the layers are what we're streaming. Comments, questions?
You said 10 gigabytes of space. How is that handled from mobile phones? Like, do you get any optimization for the models for your phone, or you'll need this 10 gigabytes of space to run it?
No, it's StreamBIM is a cloud service. So all the data is stored in the cloud. We're using AVS in Frankfurt, which means you don't have to store anything on your device. So you can have a rather old smartphone and still operate this facility here with 10 gigabytes of IFC files. So you can navigate quite easy through that because we just stream, and we also identify the capacity of the device where you're running. So we do a lot of optimizations based on which device you are on, as well as the general optimization for the streaming technology, which means that there are triangles streamed to a device near you, basically.
Yeah. What about connectivity? Do you need 4G in order for this to work properly?
No, a 3G connection is sufficient. And to some degree, we cache some of the results as well. So it will be less, well, not that fragile to poor connectivity. Yeah, but regular 3G connection is sufficient to operate StreamBIM. But of course, the better connection, the faster it operates.
Yeah, that sounds good. Regarding the users of the tool, is it, you said that the contractor, you named contractors. It's only contractors who are using mostly this tool. Is there no value in this for designers or material suppliers or maybe clients?
No, we have customers from all those different parts of the industry. So we have lots of public clients. We have, I guess, 10, 20 hospital projects in Norway only, where the client is the customer. But we also have design companies, and the software is also used a lot in typical VDC ICE meetings, where you, through design coordination and that part and that stage. The StreamBIM is also set up as a BCF server, but you do task management issues, follow-ups. That's done in this capture module, so we can get to that later on. I'll give you an introduction to that as well.
Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, you can go on.
Yeah, so as this is building information models, there's obviously some information that needs to be displayed. So every object has properties. You have attributes and properties. Also has relations, which we display here. So the type object related to this is, well, in this case, there are 2,413 objects of the same type. So you can see also relations that are in the IFC files, the BIM files, basically.
Where did you get that number from? 2000 and the number you just
sorry. Yeah, this is a count. So we count all objects that share this type object. But you can also check for light fixtures. So if you look for object class, you will see that there are almost 9,000 light fixtures in total. But of this type, it was not quite as much. You can also filter by property as well. So if we see how many light fixtures that are connected to uninterrupted power supply, we can see all the objects that are on UPS, typically emergency lighting and lights on operational rooms. So 1,702. So it's counted every time you make a filter here.
I understand.
You can also see the different values of a type. So if we use these parameters down here on the process side, we'll see that you have a control area here, which means it's basically a production zone for lean construction, typically. So if I first select this value here, which is in building 52, third floor and third area in third floor. it selects all the objects in the entire floor. If we move up, you will be able to see down. But this is like a piece of the pie of the entire project. So it's all objects, but if I also split it into, or hit this property name to contract, it will list all the values that this property can have. So you will see that there are 10 contracts operating in this area. So the 301, that's plumbing, 302 is mechanical, 401 is electrical. And if you look on only the mechanical, you will see that it's only ventilation, basically. But you also count these objects. So the ventilation contract, mechanical, is 630 objects in this production zone.
Interesting.
So it's yeah, quite easy to navigate through, filter, search, group, etc. Yeah, let's go to the same floor level.
Is the view the same on the mobiles? Like you have the map on the right bottom corner?
Yes, but of course you have to do some compromises to get it fit into a mobile screen. So I guess maybe the Optim tablet or iPads or things like that maybe has the optimal screen size. I would say depending on what you want to do, of course. But yeah, another cool thing. Maybe you have seen it, but we also display all the objects in the 2D view. So if we ask for all the light fixtures of this type, but we could also ask, okay, so if you have structured data like in this project, you can say that, okay, so this is electrical circuit. It's circuit number 18 connected to the distribution board 4330029. But if I hit that, I will list all objects that are member of this electrical circuit. And you will see it also in 2D. And this is kind of crucial for if you want to do a drawing list project. So electrical has been one of the disciplines which has been really difficult to support for drawing list project because they don't get an overview. They don't, when they are at the distribution board, they want to know which objects are to be connected to this circuit. Where do I put the boxes in, basically. So we made this view also to highlight all the objects in this power circuit connected, so you can see it also in 2D, which is very useful when you're looking for it. You can also see the unique numbers of them, and you can do selections also in 2D. So if I want to look at this light fixtures, I can just select it in the 2D view as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not only because, if you see all the objects in 3D, it doesn't always make sense. As you can see here, you don't know exactly where this light fixture is, right? So it's easier to see actually where it's in the layout if you use the 2D for that. So when we say it's a drawing list project, it doesn't mean that we don't use 2D. It's just that we don't design the drawings. We don't spend hours and hours designing drawings. Yeah.
Yes. The drawings are not produced anymore. They are just generated within the platform, right?
Exactly. So it's a byproduct of the model. It's just a different view of the model, basically. So the door schedule, that's a third view of a model. So BIM is not only 3D, as many misconceptions. We discussed that in the podcast we had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the search filter stuff, object information. Yeah, I guess that's it. Clip lanes are it's also available. So if you hit the surface with your thumb or your cursor, like here, you can then just drag your finger and section through the facility. You can have as much as 8 different planes. So if I add another one, horizontal one, we'll see. Oh, okay, so it became.
You can add 2 at the same
Yeah,
time?
you can have 6 or 8 actually.
And they are activated simultaneously at the same time?
Yeah, so you just swap between them here on the overview.
Can you remove some of them if you want?
Oh yes, you can remove all of them and reset, or you can remove just one of them. So if I do the horizontal here, I select it and I use the
So easy.
the bin. Yeah.
But why so many planes? Why 6 or 8? You said 8?
Yeah, the reason for it is that lots of the project they cut a cube as a production zone to make it easy for the people on site to actually identify what to produce today or tomorrow. Or but I'll tell you why we had to make more. It's because when you have 6 planes already and you want to do a measure plane, we use the same technology for that. So that's why we needed additional cutting planes. Well, I'll show you here. If we set a clip plane here, and yeah, maybe drag it down to the next level here. Basically, if we add measure plane, if you want to measure to whatever, basically, this is where we produce a drawing right out of the model. Then you needed an additional one. So first, a perfect cube, 6 different clip planes, but then you wanted to measure as well, and then you needed the 7th and maybe the 8th. So that's the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks very nice actually. So when you have this drawing and or measuring mode, so you are locked on that plane, right?
Yeah.
When you measure, you measure only in XY coordinates.
Yes, now we're locked in this coordinate. So basically, we create a drawing out of the model. And as you can see, now I also activated the grids, which is from the model. But you can see that this is the grid 28 HH. But you want to measure sometimes also for this pipe. Where does this come out of the concrete?
So it
So you can
snaps.
measure. Yeah, it
It
snaps
snaps
also to the grid
automatically.
lines. Yeah, snap. So this is laser measurement. And as you can see, it goes to the center point of the pipe, and it also lists the diameter that you're hitting here. Yeah. So it's this project here, this hospital project of 50,000 square meter, is produced almost without using drawings. They just use the measurements in the model.
What about with the pipe on the right side? The measure was at the side, at the quadrant, wasn't?
It hit some insulation or an object. We need to hit only one GUID. So if there's an overlapping object, you might get this problem.
Okay.
So it's let me see. Let me just.
Yeah, I'm challenging you. I don't make
Yes,
it
you
easy
are.
for you.
That's a very that's a very good good that you noticed that. Oh, so it hits some insulation here, which it can't handle. Obviously, it should go to the center point here. If everything works out perfectly, let me try here.
Yeah.
This is no overlapping objects, and you can see it goes to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we hit 2 different GUIDs, we think, okay, so maybe it's 2 objects, not 1.
Yeah. So this way, it's good that it's like you see if it's visible if you make an error, if you did not snap to the right to the desired position, and you can you can easily adjust it. Looks very good.
Yeah, and yeah, we can show you a little bit how it works here as well. If we add let's just add a measuring plane. Let me see. So now when we are above suspended ceiling, if you hit a circular object, it will cut a measuring plane 90 degrees to it. So you can see like here, and it measures to the center point of the duct. But you can also extend the vector here. So if you extend, it will not go to the center point, but from the wall, or in this case, from the grid line GG here. You can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to go all the way to the wall, you just extend that again. So it's a vector that you can just extend to and from.
Neat.
Yeah, and you can also do snap measures. Let me just align this 90 degrees and see if we have a sectioning here. But if we change to snap, you can start either from wall like this. Oh, it should have been snapping to this. I'm not sure why it doesn't do that. I'll remove all the clip lines. I think it's messing it up. Add a measuring plane. Ah. Yeah, so there you go. Let me see the snap measure. It should be snappable here. It's not. There you go. So if I take from this corner and then hover over some objects, it will then display just the distance. So let me clean this up and start all over. If you hit either a line or a corner, in this case it's just the edge here, start there, it will only take the horizontal line to whatever you hit when you just move the cursor over objects. So you can continuously see distances that you're measuring to. And then if you want, you can place the measurement, just clicking it out. So that's how it works. But you can see now it snaps also to the corner. And if it's a corner and not an edge, you will take X, Y, and delta. And you can place that also as well, wherever you want, and just put it in the scene so you can see it. So the measurements you get here is the height, in this case 66,400. That's the center point of this pipe. And here is 66,134 millimeters. This is dependent on that you actually model your model on a correct height, of course, above sea level usually. Yeah, and yeah, like I said, measured diameter and distances. That's how the measuring tool works.
Looks very good, very intuitive and helpful.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to do is flip the workflow around. So instead of designers and engineers being in the office and trying to produce the measurements they think you need to produce the building, you flip that around. So the guys on site can actually derive the measurement they actually need at any given time out there. And at least supplementary to whatever has been exposed in drawings by designers and architects.
Yes, that makes sense. It's good. It's very good that you have clients that are willing to try this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important and very nice that it's happening.
Yeah, it's public clients, I guess, are together with contractors and subcontractors, our main customers. But we also have consultants, of course, Yeah, so that's object info, clip planes, measuring planes. We have some general features like most other, say, BIM viewers, where we can hide objects by simply clicking on them, and you'll see the name of those, and you can bring them back in the scene. So it's an easy feature and functionality. Move the chair, same here. With the option of bringing it back in the scene. So if you select that or just reset, that's easy. The more complex part of StreamBIM will be the workflows, where you handle all your issues, issue management, task management. This is just a demo project, but it works like any, for those listening that heard of BCF, this is the BCF, the BIM Collaboration format, where you have position, view angle or viewpoint, and you can do management where you create issues for follow-ups and comments, etc. So if we move into one of these workflows, yeah, steel inspections or whatever you want to call it. As you can see here, you had some issues mentioned regarding a column, and the comment is connected with an annotation on the model. On site, of course, you will be able to take photos as well and combine that with the model position.
Okay, so is this available for everybody who can open the model, right? This is not just one user available, right? You don't take this as notes for yourself. You take this in the model, right?
Yeah, and good question. If you create a workflow, if you add a new one here, you control the admin rights here. So if we call this, yeah, quality assurance electrical something, and then you need an editor that can edit this. But the access rights, this is where you control who can see and view and create, etc. So general access is those that can work with it. So let's say it's the client and the electrical wasn't created here. We don't have a group called electrical, so let's use the plumber. QA plumbing. Okay, so now general access, that's the client or the site manager or whoever, and the plumbing. So members of this group can see and create issues. And you can set as assignee and due date. I'll just add quickly the project can be set as assignee. That's typically plumbing. And who can set the topic as closed. And that's if the client is following up on this, he can close them then. And then you can use the same to set priority, who can set cost, and who can comment. Typically, say the client or building owner maybe can comment on the topics or whatever.
I see.
Yeah. So all those rights are controlled.
Yeah. Do you also have integrations for other softwares that are handling only issue management that, for example, can integrate with other softwares?
Yes, we have, I think I'll briefly mention it, but we have StreamBIM is a BCF server, so we can use Solibri to create issues through their live connector. So they are set up as a client and StreamBIM as a server. Just released an official version supporting that from Solibri side. Also VREX, the virtual reality meeting app, can work with our capture module where you have all the issue management directly. So they can be in virtual reality and create issues, and then you will appear in the workflow that it's connected to, basically.
Yeah, I was thinking more like an app like BIM Collab or BIM Track, because actually VREX, it's also using BIM Collab. They have integration with BIM Collab.
Yeah. Yeah, so BIM Collab, BIM Track are also BCF servers, right? So we are more competitors to those, or we could be collaborators. So if you want to use StreamBIM as, say, just for field management or issue management in the field, you can also set up StreamBIM as a client. We didn't set it up against BIM Collab or BIM Track yet. That might be an option later on. But right now we do the same as BIM Collab and BIM Track, so we are set up as a BCF server.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how it works. So if you want to, yeah, let's switch on some more layers here. but how it works is that now we just created this this workflow called QA plumbing, right? And I switched on all the objects. So if we have a problem above suspended ceiling here with some pipes or sprinkler head, whatever, you're in QA plumbing and you can create a new issue. You just hit the pin here and give it a sprinkler. Yeah, you can give it labels for different filtering purposes. You can assign it to the group or members of that group, set a due date. So this is just normal issue management stuff where you can, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then send responsibility. This is also a chat, so you can mention people or groups here. So as soon as you mention someone, so if I mention myself, take a look at this, you get a push notification on your phone immediately that you are mentioned on a case, and you'll get a URL and you're taken to the problem, basically. Quite easy. Okay, so that's how it works. Since we didn't define any user rights to costs and stuff like that, you are not able to use those fields. So that's how we also can configure different workflows with different properties of use. You get an indicator also in the 2D map. So we can take a look on some projects that have used this if you want some good examples of use cases.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, let's take a look on also where we're using the BCF workflow. They have in this project, in the heating discipline, they have panels, heating panels and filling panels that are custom made every time. So you have to measure each and every one of those panels. So this is a plumber called Vesterheim in Bergen that has been using Solibri. So they use Solibri for creating an ITO with all the panels. So you just searched for all the filling panels in the project. So they isolated the panels, created a report, BCF report, which was imported into StreamBIM. So they got several things. All these dots, these white, green, and orange dots, is locations of those panels. But when they imported it, they also get a list like this. And all the panels then get a unique ID. So this is 4451, 4452, etc. And this is something they exported to Excel. You can export it to BCF as well, but they exported it to Excel, and that's the order for all the panels they used. So this number was also on the box of those panels when it arrived on site. So you had a unique number for each panel. So how they worked was they created it Solibri, BCF, import, and then somebody on site, they went out, they measured each and every one of them, exactly. So it's measured. And then it was ordered through the Excel order with including the measured options. But what you then get is the ID of all of those panels in this floor uniquely on all points here. So you can see that as a man installing this on site, you also know exactly which panel you are to bring to this room. And the same number is on the box that you pick up on site. So you have complete overview for this wing of the project. You know exactly where all the panels are. They are unique numbered. So there's no need for any further communications to drawings because you have all the ID you need here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. They've done that for a lot of different equipment. So drains different, but same. If you go to sanitary and one of those strings, same thing here. They use Solibri to identify all the drains, but difference is that they look down instead of looking up because they want a location in each room. And if you zoom out here, you will see that these are all drains in this building on this floor level. You have the same IDs as well, different types, but in this case, they used it also for QA. So instead of having a checklist, a long checklist, paper version they usually have, they just used a couple of pictures, photos. This is what it looked like when we left. So when the people with the rebar or the concrete, they come in here and mess up everything, and this is not horizontal anymore, and they could go back and say, well, this is what we left it. And if it's not horizontal anymore, somebody else has to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's easy documentation, and you know exactly where you have documentation of those drains as well. So
Yeah,
that's part of the big values with models, that everything has a location, X, Y, Z. So if you have 20,000 photos, you know exactly where they are taken. So you can just move into this region, go to topic, and you'll see the documentation of it, which is pretty interesting also for facility management, maintenance, and operations. You can share that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is examples of use. Let me just go back and do the demo project instead. We also made some checklists. It means that you can connect checklists in productions through objects or search. Here you can see there's a checklist connected to this door, but the process of creating one is that you make a query first. So if we search for all the doors, which again is 2,488, and then check out the requirements here, fire rating. You'll see all the doors that has set the fire rating, which is 1,474. And then you can connect either existing checklist or you can create a new checklist. So fire door checklist. Set some access rights, who can fill them in. Let's use the general contractor checklists. Yeah, subcontractor. Yeah, I guess general contractor, whatever. It doesn't matter really. Add an item. Pump. Check. Function. Yeah, check. Function. Blah blah blah. Frame. What do you call it? Paint. Paint and fire. What will you call that?
Fire rating.
Yeah, the fire rating, but when you around the frame, you will have not the fire rating, but how you make
I
sure
don't
it's
know.
actually fulfilling the fire rating. Yeah, I forgot. Anyway, you can add as many checks as you like here. Magnet, blah blah blah, and check. And you can also force photo. So now the checklist appears there, and if you are on site, either starts object by object, you will see that the checklist has been connected here. So you have the fire doors and the 3 checks we just created, where you can check it out. So pump, the function has been checked, frame, okay, and a magnet, okay. And if you're on a handheld, you can of course also add photo documentation if you want. So that's door by door. But if you want to move and take a look on all the doors in this checklist, you can then start from the overview of checklist, and we select the fire door thing, and we get the report here.
Mm-hmm.
There you see all doors that are done, in progress, or not started. You get it in the 3D view, but you also get it in the 2D view. And what you can now do is just simply go the survey in 2D if you wish. So you can go from door to doors now, and or on bedroom, select this, and then check this out, etc. And this is also connected to the issue management system. So if this door here, there's a problem with the frame here, the pump is okay, the magnet is okay, but the frame has an issue. So then you can create an issue in, let's just use the BCF workflow right now. In this case, when I'm just in 2D, I have an issue, I have a problem with the frame. Scratch. Need painting. Blah, blah, blah. And then you can assign it to someone, either a group or a person. You give the due date, etc., and post it. Now it's connected in the sense that if you are on this door and trying to close this issue on the checklist, you can't, because there is an issue connected to it. So there's an open topic related to this check. So you need to check that problem, and when somebody has fixed it, documented it, and closed it, it's a different story.
Only after that you can, clear it.
Yeah, so now it's, as you can see, it's been closed by me in this case. But then I'm allowed, you can see there is a topic there, but then I'm allowed to actually close that.
Yeah.
Close that checklist. So it's connected. Yeah, and the queries here. As you can see, the checklist here, the fire doors here, if we move to this and edit it, you'll see that this query here is the foundation. So it means that every time the architect exports a new door that has set value in this property fire rating, it will be, the checklist will automatically be added to that object. Yeah, so that's the checklist feature. There's a few others as well, but I guess it's a teaser at least. See which objects you have checked and not. So the idea behind this is it's easy to have an overview of everything you have checked. The big problem is to have an overview of everything you haven't checked, which is in traditional checklist manner much more difficult to control, because it's always a piece of paper, and the piece of paper is used to show everyone that you're on top of on top of the things, while this is more something you can plan up front and see how far you are in completion of the project.
Yeah.
Or your contract or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So anything else we should revisit?
I don't know if you think there is any other feature that you did not mention about.
Well, I guess it's a combination of different features, how you work, basically. I guess the most, I can show you how these guys here on the plumbing contract here works. When they work with the plumbing, they go into a corridor, they place themselves in a corridor, they use the clip plane, and they check clip plane under the slab. They flip the clip plane, and then they go up and look down in the corridors to get an overview of all their objects, basically to produce. And then if they don't need all those elements, so let's see. Yeah, it's a lot of elements here. Yeah, ventilation, for example, they often switch them off to see where they have the sprinklers and heating and cool water and things like that. Yeah, so let's switch off a lot of these things. Yeah, the rebars are not that interesting either. Yeah, and then they start measuring from here, planning production of their pipes, and they also did some clever stuff on their. Yeah, maybe I just skip that, but yeah, maybe this is not the right file. Yeah, this is the demo file we're having, so it's a copy. So we put the different things, well, the different files in the different layer mode. So we can't really figure that out here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, if I asked you during the presentation, so I don't have any questions. The only one thing regarding the pricing structure of this software, how affordable it is for everybody. If it's something you have on your website or you can talk about.
Yeah, the basic version of this without the full capture mode and without the full documents mode. Yeah, by the way, we didn't visit the documents mode. Let me see if we have that on the other project. We say we don't. Well, we try to support a project without drawings, but we do have a module with the drawings. So it's also a document management system. I didn't tell you that.
Yeah, that's important, especially for authorities or clients that are requiring this, right? Because legislation is requiring, like you need to have drawings.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, it's a folder structure, but we use labels to navigate. So this is the view you will see typically when you're on site on a handheld device. So if it's sanitary, you just select this label if you want to look on a sanitary system. And then you see that it's different production wagons basically that are running through this. So you will see this. So based on 2 tags, you are navigating now down to 2 potential drawings. And we also, these are just details because this is almost a drawingless project, but some details they always share. And we stream these also, so you can see it's as you zoom in, you will get more details. Basically, we zoom them in different resolutions. But you can have thousands of drawings, and they will all be in your pocket, basically. But it's a streaming technology as well, and you have a simple measuring tool here as well. So where you can add this, just replace the measuring pole on paper, basically, but you get an X, Y set, and you can use different scales depending on what you want to do. But it gives an indication at least. So,
but this text, who put in that text?
These labels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a structure that comes from say the mother project in this
No,
case.
no. I was not that. If you open a drawing, just open a drawing.
Oh, same as so if we were on sanitary and on wagon IB 2627.
Just doesn't matter, I think. The text, like the text that it shows you what is that thing, for example. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, this is put in by the designer, or it could also be actually the contractor itself in this case, because they produce some additional drawings which they think they need out on site, or yeah, the people installing it.
But is this made in StreamBIM, or is this made with another authoring software?
No, this comes from the BIM authoring tool. So in this case, I think it's Revit that are used for the plumbing.
Okay.
So it's a sheet from Revit.
Okay, I see. But then how can you show me a drawing that is 100% produced in StreamBIM?
Well, the drawings are just dynamically produced in StreamBIM. So if
you don't get them as documents.
You don't get them as documents.
Oh, okay. So
but this here, this is a picture.
Yeah.
Of the footprint of the model. So this could be exported. The only difference from a drawing is that we put the room number and name on top of the drawing. So if we rotate, you will see that the text doesn't follow the drawing; it follows the screen.
Yeah.
But this is an automatic generated floor plan, which is basically a drawing.
Okay. Yeah. So the documentation is still produced by other tools, but it's because the regulators don't keep up the pace with the requirements. But I think that is going to change, and when we will have only projects where drawings won't be a requirement anymore, so which we are very close to. There are already starting to be more and more of those.
Yeah, there are more and more examples of that. Yeah.
So that is going to lead to savings on the projects. As far as I'm concerned, is how I see the things.
Yeah, definitely. But I think also this change of behavior, where if you legally set the model first, you will get better model quality as well. If you have less focus on the drawings, I think that's positive in any way. So definitely the right path forward.
Yeah. Okay. Good that you remember to mention about documentation as well. It's important. It's still it's always important, but still an important part.
Yeah, and even though we're a BIM tool, we know that many of our customers actually are quite fond of the document management system, where you use labels or metadata about the documents to navigate it.
Yeah. So can we go back to prices? Do you have a pricing page on your website or something?
No, we don't. And the basic pricing starts on depending on which market you're in, but the Norwegian kroner, that's 3,600 per month. So it's a SaaS solution, but we don't charge extra for users. So you have unlimited number of users and unlimited number or storage as well. So no limitations to files.
So when you say like, are there allowed for more actors to use this, or you mean users from one organization? Let's say that a customer or a contractor has a.
We have different modules or different models there, but in general, it's paid per project. or you can have an enterprise deal. So that's how you purchase, or the two main models. Yeah.
You said 3,000 kroner, right?
Yeah, 3,600 for starting point.
Okay.
But it also depends on project size. So if it's depending on the size, you will have a higher cost if it's large projects. Well, like this 50,000 square meter.
Sure, I understand.
And I guess in this project there are 500 users as well. So it's
Wow, that's
it's
a lot.
quite. Yes, but then of course the price drops if you measure per user, per head, per seat, or whatever you want to call it. So that's
Yeah. I just wanted to like the equivalent in euros or dollars. It's around 360 or somewhere between 350 and 400 dollars or euros, around there, roughly.
Yeah, I think it's 350. I don't have the prices exactly, but if you contact us on sales at render.io and or sales at streambim.com. That's also it's a possibility. Then you'll get the prices depending on your project size.
What kind of support are you offering on the projects? Like,
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Inside the software here, you have a chat, so you can chat with us. We're trying to be quite quick on responding there. You see Lyrian is our head of support, is logged in right now. We also have guides built in there where you can search for whatever. If you search for 3D on mobile, or you have all those different tags, you will see how it's. We try to use videos to demonstrate how things are. So when you're in capture mode on a vertical position, you can then just lay it down horizontally and you have 3D. So we use the guides here. We also support, can set up, of course, training or consultancy as well, depending on your needs. So we, don't be afraid to get in touch.
yeah, sure. Regarding the setup, is just as easy. Like you create an account, you get an account, and you just drag and drop your IFC files, and you unite them in a federated model, and you start using it.
Yeah, you have to choose, but from our website, it's just start a free trial. You have 10 days of free trial, and then after those, or through those 10 days, we will get in touch with you. If you don't want to continue or keep going, we don't charge you anything. That's not a problem. But then you can order your license there. But it's like you say, upload IFC files, decide which files you want to group or give them a more human readable name if you want, and then just process and you're good to go. It's we're trying to be a plug and play thing. So
Sounds very good. It is how it's supposed to be. Well, is it there anything else you think we did not mention? Please feel free to.
Well, I guess we're really happy to get in touch with anyone. So please don't hesitate to ask us to get a personal demo instead of a video. Yeah, I guess that's the final words. Check out our website, streambim.com. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much for a very detailed and in-depth presentation. It was really nice to see the potential of this software.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for the invitation and having me.